I just want to make sure that no one is hungry in this block. So there are many cases that people might not understand. Then they will just assume that it's 2021. No one can be hungry, but things could happen.
Would you ask whether do they have kale, do they have asparagus, do they have carrots, do they have oranges for vitamin C or bananas for potassium? You won't, because you would assume that those food are atas food, or food that they don't have to eat.
Condition that they are living in as well, being like rental one-room flats, sometimes can be a little bit too stressful for them, because they have to manage so many people in a family, especially mothers with children, and they're also sandwich families. Yeah, so it can be a very challenging situation that they are in.
You don't measure a man's wealth by what he has, but measure him by what he's willing to give. Hi, my name is Niza. I am the founder of Free Food for All. I'll be 52 this year, and my job at FFA is to ensure that everything goes well. Operations, administrative, accounts.
When I first volunteered for Free Food for All about 2.5 years back, I was actually quite taken aback to see that there are actually people who need food in Singapore. I was not even aware that there is such a word as the hungry in Singapore.
We are serving on our delivered meals. We are serving about 1,800 families a month. And that is excluding the cooked meals, excluding other programs, excluding the food truck and whatnots. And so I think all in all, we serve easily between 2,500 to 3,000 families a month.
Today we are actually having a food aid distribution of fresh vegetables at Eunos Block 1 and 2. So we're very excited, because at the same time we're also giving out some of our Christmas chocolates to the families and the elderly within these 2 blocks.
Through my journey as a volunteer with Free Food for All, then I find that the prevalence in such cases, right, with those poorer or lower income family actually comes from more mature estates. For example, like Boon Lay and also Toa Payoh. So these are the families whereby they really are in quite dire straits when it comes to just even managing their daily necessities of life.
We started from the mosque at Darul Aman, and we started with about 500 meals a week. I started from there, and it slowly grew to, I think, by the time we reached maybe May or April the next year, which is 2015, I think we were already doing 10,000 meals a month. Yeah, well, at that level, that's where we found that we needed to make this effort something more sustainable, and we took the initiative to register it as a charity, and so that we can continue the good work and hopefully expand our services. I just love the concept of feeding someone, especially feeding someone you didn't know, and throughout the journey, sometimes at night I look at YouTube and I see some ustaz saying that to be able to go to a shop, have your makan, and then pay for someone else, and then just quickly move away, without telling that person. And I felt that to be so wonderful, the fact that nobody knows what you've done, as Allah. And so that spurred me on to wanting to do this. But unfortunately, it cannot stay hidden, right? When you want to do a charity, you want to encourage others to do so. That's why I think it really spurred me on to use food as a medium.
my name is Natalie. I'm a welfare officer for Free Food for All. So, on typical working days, I will just come inside the office, of course, check my emails and all that. Then attend to calls. Sometimes, we have like recipients who actually need the food aid immediately because they are unable to go out because they may be COVID positive. I'm right now a single mom, unwed, of two beautiful boys. They are a joy of my life and they are the only ones that actually keep me moving forward. Yeah, so Free Food for All has actually helped me a lot since the period, I would say before and during and now after COVID as well, because they are very supportive. So I started off as being a Free Food for All beneficiary. Then I became, a little volunteer here and there as when I can, and then they helped me a lot when I was jobless during COVID period, and after that I gotten a job here as a full-time. There was this once whereby I really need of food, like there's nothing in my fridge. I don't even have 1 cup of rice left. Yeah, there was nothing left, and then I contacted at that point of time the welfare officer. Yeah, so she did help me, like in terms of just quickly get food aid delivered to me so that me and my sons could have like something to eat. And even though it's ready to eat meals, of course, the first time I received it, I was like, what's this? Yeah. But like after a while, like tweaking here and there, like I add sesame oil to the porridge. It has become like our family favorite because it's so easy. Like I just need to heat up and then it's done. I don't have to think about what do I want to cook for dinner for the kids and all that, because a lot of the meals that was given are kids friendly.
At FFA, we have a chance to make change, impact. Means you can see today Ahmad bin Samad, 10 years old, joined FFA, was a beneficiary, and this is the programs that we gave him for 2 years. He completed secondary school, he went to poly, he went to this, he got married, now he is having his own purchase flat. He bring his mom to stay with him. That is success to me. Failure is Ahmad got married at 17, no education, have 3 kids, and live in a rental flat. That's failure to me. We believe that strong multi-approach, community support, nutritional support, mental support, health support will provide them a good solid soil, ground for them to bloom.
Okay, you can come down and collect at my place now. Thank you. I was divorced about 10 years ago. So after I came back to Singapore about 7 years ago, that is where I really pick up myself. It was a very harsh divorce for me, and that's where I realized that there are people like me that need help, that single moms need help, that they cry in quiet time. For volunteering with FFA, I'm not only just giving food to the residents, but I do help them in many certain areas. Example like their kids' education. So in case one of the family got arrested, so we are there to help the other family members, especially the children, so that I will make sure that the children will go hungry. Yeah. We always keep in touch with each other. We make sure that we are aware of what is happening.
How we run is we go to people who wants to donate, or who has items that we can buy at a cheap price, and then we put it there so that the people benefit, and of course we make some small margins so that we can turn around.
We serve low-income families, the elderly, families with children, single mums, as well as, recently we also work together with a church to serve the migrant workers. So these are the areas whereby we feel that food aid is actually necessary to assist them, to relieve them, from their daily, stress of life.
When I say to you, hey, I know this family, they need food help. When I tell you, please, let's help them. One of the first things you ask is that, ada beras tak? Do they have rice? Cooking oil, beans, sardines, this and that. Because traditionally, that is what we've been told our forefathers took when they were in need. Would you ask whether do they have kale, do they have asparagus, do they have carrots, do they have oranges for vitamin C, or bananas for potassium? You won't, because you would assume that those food are atas food, or food that they don't have to eat. And the perception has to change. And if we do change it, then we are really going back to that concept of giving others what we ourselves want or what they need.
As part of our, founder's mission, he would like to actually encourage the community to grow their own greens. So the best thing is that, we have this hydroponic green wall in our office to start off, and to be able to actually provide, sustainable farming, to the community. So how the hydroponics plants actually work in our office is that we utilize volunteers to come in to do the germination, then the harvesting, and then with the harvest, what we do is that we will give it out again back to the community.
Our founder, Mr. Nizar, he is like a very big bear, like brother bear.
The bear, as you can see, is actually me lah.
Like he cares for every one of us. He tends to, he has a very big heart. To able to, build this organization from himself to what it is right now. And all this is out of love for everyone.
The gist of what we're trying to do is, on one hand, to be able to take in innovative ways on how to address food insecurity, how to minimize food waste, but at the same time to inculcate that spirit of not only giving for the sake of giving, but giving because it is something that we need to do on a daily basis. And giving can be a word of advice, can be a smile, can be a donation, can be many forms of support. So once we are a giving person and your neighbors tend to be recipients of that giving nature, they in turn will be giving as well. And after your society, your community, your country will be a giving community. So while the government can do many policies to support the community has to support itself. And that means that we need to be able to take care of ourselves. We need to be able to take care of our families and our neighbors. Only then can you be truly united and strong.